AZAM is back.
Welcome back. Maybe not something you want to hear, but it is rattlesnake season, unfortunately. And Amy Burnett from Arizona Game Fish joins us now. And tell us, Amy, good morning to you and thank you for your time. Why is this rattlesnake season?
Well, so March and April are usually the months that rattlesnakes start coming out of hibernation, and so they're really active. So you're likely to encounter one if you're out on a trail, even doing some gardening at your house. And this is not something to be afraid of. At least just be cautious and know that they're around. This is why we like living in Arizona, right? We have bragging rights.
Yes. Very true. Okay, so they're probably an important part of our ecosystem, right? Why are rattlesnakes important to the desert?
You know, they really are. If it weren't for rattlesnakes, we'd have a lot more pack rats and rodents around our house. They keep the vermin down. They also eat a lot of other animals, but they are a really solid part of the ecosystem. I think they're just beautiful. We have 13 different species in Arizona, so more than any other state in the country. And if you know how to just watch for the warning signs, watch your step while you're hiking, you really can enjoy rattlesnakes, and you don't have to think of them as something that is a part of spring that you don't like. You can actually treat it as a scavenger hunt. See how many rattlesnakes you can find on the trail, or I should say off the trail, because that's where you should be, is off the trail.
Amy, I'm sure everybody would look forward to that. Hey kids, let's head out on the trail. Yeah, for sure.
Right.
I love that idea. It would change things up for sure. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Most people are, yes, so if you're out on the trail, it's most important to stay on the trail and not go off of it. And that's where a lot of bites occur. So if you're staying on the trail, watching for rattlesnakes as they slither across, or maybe they're just coiled up on the side, they really don't want to have anything to do with you. They just want to do their own thing. They're looking for food and you're not on the menu.
Okay, good. That's good to hear. Big sigh of relief, I'm sure, from all of our viewers too. Okay, so if we happen to see one or hear one, or if we're hiking out, what should we do?
So the best thing to do when you're hiking and you see one is just back away. Just back away immediately and give it some space. And if you're far enough away, that rattlesnake is going to crawl off the trail and just be on its way. You don't need to throw rocks at it. You don't need to poke at it. You really just leave it alone and it'll do its thing. Most people pass by lots of rattlesnakes while they're hiking on the sides of the trail and don't even know that they're there. That might not make you feel better, but they're doing their own thing. They don't want to have any encounters with people. So the best thing you can do is just watch where you put your step. You know, you're watching where your feet go for rocks anyway. And just enjoy the beautiful wildlife we have in Arizona.
That is so true. We were out on a trail and there were some fellow hikers moving in the opposite direction, and they said, hey, watch out, there's a rattlesnake over on the side of the rock over there. And so we kind of walked on the other side of the trail when we passed by that way. Do they always rattle when they're, are they threatened, or where does the rattle come from?
I'm really glad that you asked. So they don't always rattle when they're there. They don't always rattle before they strike. That's a pretty common myth. So if they're rattling, they're saying, hey, I know that you're there, I'm here, let's just call it a deal and make peace with it and just leave me alone. So it's a warning. They're not angry, they're really afraid. You know, they see you as a predator that could eat them potentially or kill them. So they just want to stay out of your way and do their own thing. And they're sit and wait predators. So most of the day they spend doing just this. They're not necessarily crawling around a lot, except for when they come out of hibernation and they're going to their spot where they're going to look for food for the day. And then it gets a little bit hot, then they'll crawl back into a shady spot or a burrow.
Okay. And then what to do if you happen to get bit? What's the first thing you should do?
So bites are actually very uncommon, especially for people that are staying on the trail. The best thing to do is first stay calm, call 911 and look for, and you'll get instructions from them. You want to pull off any rings or constricting things you might have around your hands or wherever you were bitten, of course. And then the doctor will tell you what to do from there. Don't take any painkillers, don't take Benadryl. That's something that was going around Facebook for a while. You really don't want to do anything except for stay calm and get to a hospital as soon as you can. It's, most people are going to be just fine, but there were, 39 bites last year, and almost half of them were in April alone in 2020. So it's something to watch out for, but we didn't have any deaths. you know, this day and age, people really don't die from rattlesnakes when they get care. We have antivenom, and obviously it's not a trip to the doctor that you want, but if you're staying safe on the trails, you should be just fine.
Are there places, Amy, where I'm sure you guys get calls from the authorities like, hey, Amy, can you come on out and we have found this rattlesnake, or this one needs to be returned to maybe a quote unquote home or something like that? Do you get more sightings in one part of the valley than you do in another?
So Arizona Game and Fish doesn't do rattlesnake removals, but there are several businesses. If you Google, you can find people that will do it for, and sometimes in some areas, fire departments will do it for you for free. But I really recommend calling a rattlesnake removal company because they know where to put the rattlesnake back so that it stays safe, and you know, and then it's not going to die from the removal. They're specialists in knowing exactly where to return them so they can be safely removed and then humanely find a new home.
All right, Amy Burnett with Arizona Game and Fish. Amy, thank you so much. We appreciate your time this morning and all of your work with all of our wildlife around Arizona. All right, have a good day.
Absolutely. Stay safe out there. You too.